What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, the award-winning Nintendo podcast, backed by 120 Power Star rating, and the doors to episode 118 are open. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and joining me, as always, here at PAX Australia is Bryce DeWitt. How you going, my friend?
Hello, mate. How are you?
Good. So, we got the opportunity to sit down and play some games at Nintendo's booth this morning. I guess, what should we start with? Or what we're going to talk about? Luigi's Mansion. What about Luigi's Mansion?
What about your news, mate?
What about my news? Well, I'm going to sort of incorporate the news into the show.
Got it. All right.
Yeah. So, that's all good? Yeah. So, Luigi's Mansion, we went into a real dark room, haunted house, had a booze and that. Very scary. I was sweating. Were you sweating much?
Oh, I was absolutely drained.
Absolutely drenched in sweat. But seriously, I got to play the game. You watched and took some videos and photos. I guess playing through the demo. Have you been keeping up with much information, or because I know myself, I'm sort of just like I'm going to get the game. I'm going to play the game. I'm not watching every trailer and everything. Like I sort of catch what's at E3, but. Yeah, apart from that, I haven't caught up with much, and being able to actually play it now and be able to do the new mechanics of throwing the plunger and everything, that was fun to do. What did you think about when you were watching it?
Well,
Jesus. Oh, frog's got your tongue there, mate. Oh. Yeah, we'll try again. Here we go.
I'm good now. Well, it certainly looks like the next step up from 2. If that makes enough sense. I'm really interested to see where it goes. Obviously, in the PAX demo, we had a couple of rooms and then a boss fight. You got right to the end of the boss fight, and you ran out of time.
I did. I was so close.
Yeah, it was time demo. So I ran out of time.
Which I didn't know.
No.
Because I was just like collecting coins and being a dickhead.
Yeah. If we knew we actually had like a timed demo, then would have been alright. But the boss we got shown off was essentially a king. He jumps in, King Ghost. He jumps into a suit of armor and does a little thing. And your whole aim for that was to stun him and then slam him around a bit and break off his armor, so that eventually it's just him without the armor. So there's a lot more characteristic to it than I remember from Luigi's Mansion, if that makes sense. Yeah. Feels a lot more vibrant and, I guess, spooky vibes. Obviously, Luigi's there now, and we had to mess around with him a bit to solve a few puzzles. And then the plunger was interesting because the ghosts incorporate, in the demo at least, like shields. They had swords and shields, and you had to use the plunger to get the shields off them before you could even think about hurting them. And
yes, that was cool. Like the end boss, he had his shield up, and you had to wait. So he peeked over the top to stun him with the flash and all that. But I guess if you did watch Nintendo Treehouse at E3, this was the demo we got to play. So it introduces you to Luigi, who at the start, like, the spikes come up and I'm like, oh, I know what to do. I'm going to go and use Luigi to go across them. And then I got to the second bit where you've basically got to blow a windmill to bring up an elevator and put it down again. And I don't know how I forgot about Luigi so quickly, but I'm like, how do I blow it from here? Then I'm like, I asked the lady who's at the booth, and she's like, yeah, Luigi. I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot about Luigi. You didn't say anything. Did you forget about Luigi, or were you just being polite sitting back there?
Oh, look, I didn't know Luigi's functions, whether he acted exactly like him. So it was sort of just a case of like, well, does the poltergeist even work? Obviously it does, so yeah.
He does, he just can't get wet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Luigi can't get stabbed. Yeah.
Not morbid at all.
No, not at all. So I guess that's Luigi's Mansion. It's coming out at the end of this month.
It looks very good.
Yeah. Does this make you more excited for it? Or is it just like, yes, this just reinforces you like, this is good, cool, I'm looking forward to it?
Yeah, it's more of a reinforcement. I feel like I I never played Dark Moon because I don't know. I couldn't be bothered with the 3DS and at the time, and so I sort of just left it. I was waiting for Luigi's Mansion, like a remaster maybe to come out or whatever, but then they announced 3 and...
I was about to say, you got Luigi's Mansion remaster, but it was on 3DS again.
Yeah, exactly.
But it actually works quite well on 3DS, Luigi's Mansion, being like, they set it up like it's a diorama, and also it's 3D. It looks really cool, because, I don't know, when you were a kid, do you remember bringing like shoe boxes to school? Because like, we're doing a diorama, and... remember that?
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. So yeah, it sort of reminded me of like being a kid, having little dioramas, and everything's like you can just interact with everything from like a flower pot or a book. You just suck it all up. That's what I really love about Luigi's Mansion. And I guess in the same way, like now it's HD, seeing like those little details in more detail.
And Luigi's so expressive.
Yeah, a lot more expressive, and that's one of the challenges about the game. Just everything's you can interact with everything, and yeah. No, I'm looking forward to this game. I've got my voucher. I bought the other day. I wanted to get Town for cheaper, so I got credits just by buying 4 vouchers all in one go. Yep. So I've got one sitting there for Luigi's Mansion ready to go, and Pokemon, and I think I want a Dragon Quest, but I'm sort of holding off Dragon Quest because I'm like, I don't quite have the time for a 100-hour RPG on top of all these other things. I'm just snowballing, not actually finishing.
Exactly.
So this is the first time I actually got to play the Switch Lite as well. First time I got a hands on. You played it just before, and that they've got a fair few games set up for it. What do you think of the Switch Lite? I know it might be old news to some people because they've already gone out and bought one, and they're probably playing it maybe while they're listening to this podcast. But as your first impressions, what do you think?
Look, it felt better in my hands than I thought it would. I'm not sure if it's still right for me or if I would ever consider it. But I think, again, the main draw isn't so much the console itself. It's just the fact that it lacks a few things, and the controllers obviously still need to be sorted out. But that's kind of the Switch as a whole, really. Yeah. So, yeah, it was good getting my hands on it and having a crack at it. And it's definitely a lot more pocket size than the normal Switch, but I don't feel like the size difference is that jarring to me, if that makes sense.
What I noticed when I picked it up straight away, I'm like, wow, this thing is a lot lighter. Just it feels like a feather just when I picked it up. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this feels real nice, like the matte finish on the plastic, and I really liked just like the vibrant colours. I'm a sucker for bright colours. But what I did notice straight away was like the screen. It wasn't quite as crisp, and I was wondering if it was just the game I was playing at the time. And I think that was the first game I was playing. It was what's it called again? It doesn't matter anyway. But then I went and played Spyro, and that looked a bit like sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but a bit grainy, a bit more blurry. I'm not sure if that could just be the game, because obviously that's support of a game from more powerful consoles. But I also played Mario Maker 2 on it, and it still looked a bit more, I guess, blurry, or however you would put it, than the normal Switch. The normal Switch has a lot more crisper screen, from what I can tell. Yeah. But I really did like the D-pad. Really enjoyed having like a proper D-pad on a console. And what I tried to see if it had the same problems the Pro Controller had, where you can sort of move your character left and right just by sort of rocking up or down, because it just ruins platforms for me. And yeah, it's a lot better. It doesn't do that, so it's a fixed D-pad at least. I know there's news about Joy-Con drift and everything, so hopefully that's not too common.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is the first week there was videos and stuff coming out of it, and it was sort of concerning, because you've got to send away the whole thing. You can't just like, oh, well, that's shit, I can only use my Pro Controller for now. It's not like that, really. You have to send the whole thing away to get it fixed. So hopefully that this gets addressed. That would be nice, because it's really not good enough in that regard. But the actual console itself is fine, serviceable, and if you want a cheaper Switch, I guess it works. I just feel like dropping the extra $70 or so at base price, you get more bang for your buck.
I guess since the last episode too, I have actually pre-ordered one of the Pokemon limited edition Switch Lights with the legendaries on it and everything, because I'm like, one, I really like handhelds. Two, I really like Pokemon, and three, I like collecting them. So, but as far as like $330 for the Switch itself, my opinion hasn't changed since we did that initial episode. Where like, my God, the price is a bit much.
Yeah.
Still hasn't changed much, but there are a fair few deals that you can get them like $30 off. So you can get them from $2.99 in Australia. So that's not too bad. Even here at PAX, you can get them at the EB booth for a bit cheaper. Mm.
Yeah.
So I guess the next one is Hollow Knight's Silk Song. You haven't played this, have you?
No, I haven't. No, the line for it's atrocious. I got plenty to watch though. So yeah, it was definitely Hollow Knight.
It was definitely Hollow Knight, yeah, because we were lucky because we got to go in an hour earlier to sort of avoid most of the lines. But yeah, now the line for this game is capped out. You can't actually stand in it, and it's the same with Pokemon and a few other of these lines as well. You just can't.
Yeah.
It's a bit ridiculous, but I've only played like a little bit of Hollow Knight. I've sat down and played it a bit, and from what I can tell, Silk Song is pretty similar. Yeah.
Well, it was originally an expansion to Hollow Knight, so it's just more Hollow Knight in that regard. Yeah.
But I enjoyed what I played. Like, I got to a few gates and I'm like, all right, I can't go through there. I need something, but I've got 10 minutes to play this game, so I'm not going to get through that way. So then I just like backtrack, go a different way. There's another gate here. I've got no time to figure out, what I need. I don't have an hour to sit down and actually progress through the game. So I just like killed some enemies. There was some slugs. Then there was some more advanced slugs that had wings, and they were like trying to fall on me. I'm like, all right, more Hollow Knight, yeah, which is a good thing. Okay. Team Cherry, Adelaide developer, awesome stuff.
Yeah, very much so. It's good to see it highlighted too.
Yeah,
like it's a highlighted thing.
And you can, when you play it, you can get a pin. I got a Hornet pin, which I'm showing Bryce, which no one else can see. That's the cool thing about the booth this year. Actually, there's heaps of pins and that you can get. I got a couple of posters, and I got this Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD stress ball. Very exciting stuff. Have a feel of that ball, Bryce. How's that ball feel, mate?
Less stressful.
Less stressed. You're a bit stressed doing this podcast, are you, mate?
Obviously.
Very stressed. Actually, that's good. Not really a good segue, but it can be a segue. I played a bit of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD, so it's a HD, I guess, remaster of that.
Super Monkey Ball HD.
Yeah, yeah, and it was fun. I've only played the one that came out maybe around launch on Wii. I bought that.
That's what this is, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm not like that familiar with Monkey Ball apart from that one game. I don't know if this was the GameCube version or not. There's going to be someone out there who's like, hey Drew, it's the GameCube, or hey Drew, it's the Wii one. Mm-hmm. Feel free to let us know. But I guess it was a little bit nostalgic because I remember playing it on the Wii with the motion controls, and I thought that was quite fun. And on the Switch, all it is with, I don't know if you can turn motion controls on. I sort of looked in the options. I assume you can because Nintendo, like to push that type of thing. But how I played it was just with the stick and A to jump. And when you move the stick, it doesn't move the ball. It moves like the world around you. So I did a lot of like tilting my head, sort of like you're holding the left stick and the world's like tilting to the left, and like my head just goes with it. I'm like, ugh. I'm playing in handheld mode. I'm like just moving my head around all the time. So I reckon it would be beneficial to turn on motion controls if you can turn them on. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I went through the first world, beat the boss. There's a bird which you've got to like jump on its head. Very scientific stuff. Jumping on its head. Had to jump on it 4 times, Bryce. Not 3. They really bucked the trend with this one. Yeah.
4 times.
4 times, yeah. And it's got a bunch of mini games in there too, but it was just me playing in handheld mode. So yeah, no friends. You weren't there at the time, Bryce. You were off getting a T-shirt or something.
Yeah, that's right.
So you went to the Final Fantasy 14 booth. I know this isn't Nintendo, but you went there, got a shirt. Mm-hmm. Very exciting stuff.
Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'll just put that in. Why not? And I guess next, there's a sort of a little secluded booth where we could go and play Witcher 3 and Resident Evil 5.
Because they're R18.
Yeah, because and it's quite funny because I don't think many people actually know what the hell's in that booth. And because it looks like the line for Hollow Knight Silksong is right next to this booth, and I think a lot of people think that the line is for that little secluded booth. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but yeah, we both went in there and we played through the games. Resident Evil 5, I know you liked it back in the day. What do you think of it on Switch now?
Oh, I mean, it's Resident Evil 5. The only, there's a few mixed opinions with the Resident Evil 5, but I enjoy it for what it is. It runs perfectly fine on Switch. Nothing to take a gawk at or anything. It's not remastered or anything in particular. It's pretty much just the Xbox version. It's the same slew of Resident Evil stuff that they've been putting out for the Switch, and I suppose if it works, it works. Don't, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Yeah. But yeah, I think it was like a 10-minute Spec Ops mission or something. Yeah.
There was a sort of news going around that the frame rate in that was inconsistent, and it was like breaking in the demo version.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I can't say that what I played was all that jarring at all. Just when I started, I'm like, all right, this is an Xbox 360 game. It's just literally that game just plonked onto a portable device. And if you're a fan of that game and you want to do the sort of horde mode and all that type of thing, I think it would be a good option, especially at the right price. I think at retail it comes with Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 bundled together. So if that's at a decent price and you're into more of those action-based Resident Evil games, I think that will be a decent deal. Yeah. Because I never played. I played a little bit of 5. I never played 6 because I think like the reviews came out, everyone's just like, nah. Yeah.
The problem with the Resident Evil is it went way more into action-oriented sort of genre, I guess, rather than spooky scary. And I mean, we're in spooky scary month, so probably should have just got Resident Evil 7 on the console. Probably would have.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But I guess this is just literally not literally a drag and drop, but it very much looks like a drag and drop from previous consoles where
Looks fine.
Yeah. And if you go to Japan, you can stream Resident Evil 7, so that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, guess so. Yeah.
And the other R18 big boy game was Witcher 3. So yeah, Bryce, what do you think of this one, mate?
Yeah, so I think it's serviceable if you've never played The Witcher before and you just want to play it. Obviously, it's the game with the most content plopped onto the cartridge on Switch, without question. Like, it's Blood and Wine and all other expansions. I can't remember exactly all of them. I just remember Blood and Wine for whatever reason. But it's all on the one card, which is like a phenomenal achievement. Wild Hunt is a huge game, but it does suffer from pretty crappy frames at times, and the pop-in is a little bit close.
Yeah, it's the pop-in isn't too bad. Like when I played it, I wasn't playing like I'm gonna have fun. I'm just like running around seeing how the game handles, and I'm just like running through trees and that. And the pop-in didn't seem too bad. Like you'd expect like to look at the horizon and like stuff to be popping in and out, but it was actually quite good. Like I'm looking at the sky, looking at the moon, and I look down and you can see the mountains and everything, and I thought it was quite good in that aspect. But yeah, the graphics are like toned right down as low as they could possibly go, which we should expect because it is like a device that literally fits in your pocket for like $300. So yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess it comes down to if you really want to play it and you don't have anything else to play it on, then it's serviceable enough to be like, hey, here's another big open world game. But I think the issue is that I guess the comparison is, in my opinion, and I was thinking this while I was playing it, it's Xenoblade 2 in handheld, but without the decent frames. That's exactly what it looks like.
So Xenoblade 2, sort of explain that for someone who hasn't played that. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, how does Xenoblade 2 handle in handheld mode?
Fucking hell, it's not an interview, mate.
Bryce, how's your sex life?
Anyway, it's just muddy. That's the problem, is explaining this kind of thing. It's just like, it's muddy. That's what you can say about it. It's jut. It's a bit rough around the edges. If you Google gameplay footage of Xenoblade 2 on Switch in portable mode, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. It's obvious the graphics are toned right down. It looks very similar to that, so that's the comparison drawn. It's as if they sort of just took a low-end PC and just went...
Yeah.
Installed The Witcher on it and tried to give it a go, but yeah, it's not the best-looking game ever, and the frames are dippy.
Like, I think if you want to play it in handheld mode, it will be, I think it will be a good option to get. But if you're like, I want to play 50-50 or whatever, I think you should probably be like, just think about getting it on another console, if possible. Yeah. If you don't have another console, then, this is the only option you've got. So, but I did find myself after a few minutes, or after 10 minutes or so, sort of like getting, like, your eyes sort of adjust to the graphics and you're just playing the game for what it is. Like, going through the story. And I think if you get some headphones and you sort of nestle into, like, the back seat of a car or your bed or whatever, I think it'll be a pretty good experience just playing this game in handheld. Yeah. Well, I feel like I might pick it up eventually, maybe. I want to play Dragon Quest and these other huge games first, so... Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that leaves us to, like, one of the biggest games at the booth, and the first one we went to go and see because we knew the lines were going to be very big, and that is Pokemon Sword and Shield. We got to play the demo that you might have seen at E3, which is going through the water gym, doing the sort of challenge and going to face the gym leader. And it's sort of hard with a Pokemon game because we knew going into it, it's just a turn-based game. We've got stock Pokemon, they're not ours, so it's very just selecting moves, and it's not gameplay orientated. Because last year we were very excited to go and play Smash Bros because we want to know how it felt, how the new characters felt. Where with this, we sent out Scobble, and we use Water Pulse. There's not much feeling there necessarily, but it was cool to sort of just play it and get a handle of the characters and everything. And we were talking earlier, and we're doing the water challenge where basically you've got to turn off and on taps to sort of stop water from shooting up, so you can progress through the puzzle. And the very last one, I'm like, just like, it's not working for me. I'm like, oh god. And the guy watching me, I'm like, he's probably just thinking I'm the biggest idiot. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, just tell me. I want to get through this. Because you have to turn one off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it back on, then turn it off again. Yeah. Sort of a little mix-up like that. But, yeah, so what did, just battling aside, just like this running around and all of that in the gym, what did you think of that? Like, I know there's not a whole lot to go off of, but...
it's gorgeous. Yeah, looks great. But, again, at the end of the day... use your own Pokemon, and it feels like a much better experience. So using rental Pokemon essentially is what we got. We got all three of the starters, Yamper, Wooloo, and Corviknight. Yeah. We had the option to Gigantamax or whatever in the actual leader battle. It was against Nessa, and I guess it's there. It's another Mega Evolution mechanic. I ended up Gigantamaxing my Yamper for the lols. And it fainted, so I had to survive an extra attack from this giant Gigantamax Dreadnought. So I was like, okay, well, I guess Wooloo's dying then. So I sent out Wooloo to take the hit. And surely enough, it died because I needed to keep my Grookey to kill it.
Oh, poor Wooloo.
Yeah, poor Wooloo.
Yeah. What? I had my Grookey out against the Dreadnought. And I'm like, grass against a water rock. I'm set. I'm good. Then it Gigantamax and just like flattened me. It didn't quite kill me. Then it's the sandstorm that got activated through its Gigantamaxing. Just like killed me then. I'm like, oh, right. So I thought I would be fine. Then just boom, just fucking flattens me. I'm like, huh. So I sent out the Corviknight. I'm like, it'd be cool to see its new form because it got announced that it got a new form. But it must have been in this demo, I don't think. Or it just didn't look that different, but I didn't notice. I think it just wasn't in the demo because it was from E3. Yeah. And I think this the Corviknight Gigantamax form was announced afterwards. But yeah, so and it is cool too because they got like a booth set up which looks like, I guess, a Pokemon gym where all the Nintendo booth attendants are all dressed in gym attire, all of that. Yeah. And they did show off the I guess the steel case as well in a little thing while we're waiting in the line, and the steel case looks really nice. I tried to pre-order it the other day actually, and they were sold out. I'm like, God damn it! I just waited that little bit too long. But the steel case looks nice. It's got like the map of the Galar region in the middle, in the inside. Funny words are hard, Bryce. I don't know why they're so hard. They are, aren't they?
We had an early morning, mate.
We did have an early morning. Yes, it's either an early morning or a late night with us, isn't it? Why can't we just...
Just doesn't happen.
Just doesn't happen, does it? No. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that's it. That's the start of our pack so far. We went around the Nintendo booth and...
there was other things there.
Any... so, it's just non-Nintendo. We can talk some non-Nintendo. What did you... You went and seen... Obviously, what you said before, Final Fantasy 14, just so you could go and get your shirt. You're a big Final Fantasy 14 fan. You play that game a lot. Did you go and play anything else, or did you just do that?
I've done that, but the thing is like, they were really crazy this year for a Friday, the lines. So basically, we went and did a couple things at the Nintendo booth. I'm like, right, I'm going to go claim my shirt at the 14 Battle Challenge before it expires, and luckily I did, because as soon as I walked out, the line was just incomprehensible. I wasn't going to get in there.
Well, when was that Nintendo booth? I think you were already gone. Actually, no, you were just getting your My Nintendo reward. And, yeah, we're there, and we just hear, like, the gates are open. We hear, like this big crowd of people just, like, charging. Like, oh, God. Because it was busy enough, like, just with, like, whoever got a content creator badge to get in. It was busy enough. I'm like, oh, my God. We're waiting, like, 20 minutes for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which now it's like 2-hour wait for Pokemon. Yeah. Which is... I couldn't wait 2 hours for that demo. Like, that demo, it was cool to get your hands on Sword and Shield. Obviously, it's my most anticipated game, but it's not one of those games where it's like, wait 2 hours to try. So it's a month away now as well, so it's not too bad a wait.
And I mean, there's stuff like Final Fantasy 7 and the Avengers and all that here, and they've all got queue times of 2 to 3 hours. Yeah. Like, that's insane. And I mean, I know that it's all looked forward to and everybody wants to play them and all that, and that's great, but like, just looking at it from the perspective of like, there was, oh Jesus, it's Simon Blackburn.
Simon Blackburn's ringing us. It is lunchtime. He's ringing us about lunch. Yeah. So Simon, if you get around to listening to this episode, you know why I just hung up on you. Sorry.
But even with the Final Fantasy 7 section, you couldn't take photos or take video footage or anything like that. You weren't allowed to. So that kind of sucks, but I'll try and get my hands on it if we get here early enough the next 2 days. Yeah. I'll get in and have a crack.
Well, that's the thing. The next few days are even busier because today's the Friday, so on the weekend where people actually don't have to get work off, it's going to be busier. Yeah, I'd love to get into Final Fantasy and Avengers especially, because that's like, a real hands-on third-person game. But yeah, I'm just not the type of person who's like wants to wait in these lines. No. Like, because Avengers comes out in May, and that's a fair wait. So getting your hands on this early is actually pretty cool. Yeah. On
the lighter side of things, so I managed to get my hands on some titles that are on Switch that were, they've come, and obviously I haven't picked them up, and I'm just like, okay, well, I'll have a look at them here, like Daemon X Machina, which was okay, serviceable mech game. Ukulele and the Impossible Lair looks great, and I want to pick it up. Yeah.
I was close to it the other day, and it is interesting too because of like the Switch tax, which is being put on the physical version, but not the digital version, which is good because a lot of the time it does get put onto the digital version as well. Because here it's like $70 for the physical version, but it's $45 for the digital version. Yeah. And $45, that's a fine price, but $70 for ukulele. So, I don't think so. Yeah.
No, there was Ni no Kuni as well. Disney Tsum Tsum was there, but I'm good, thanks.
I didn't even play that either.
No. There was Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games stuff briefly, but they turned that TV off pretty quick. I don't know why.
It looks pretty good, that game, but yeah, I've got my money set aside for some of these bigger games, and I don't think I'm going to be sitting there too much playing Mario and Sonic, but it does look pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, we also got a photo with Mario and Luigi, the brothers themselves.
We did, yeah. Very exciting. Finally got to meet Mario and Luigi. Very nice men.
Oh my God, Simon.
Simon's ringing again.
Here, look, give it to me. I'll message him.
It's all right. Yeah, give him a message. All right. Well, I guess it is lunchtime. We got people ringing us, Bryce. We're
very busy people.
Oh, very busy. Got to go and eat. So actually, no. Give my phone back. I need to do Nintendo JUKEBOX.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, man. Yeah. Well, Bryce, this is at the start of our PAX adventure. We've got some more episodes coming out. We got a appointment at the Audio Technica booth on Sunday at the end of the day. Can't remember the exact time. I think it's 4 o'clock. Yeah, so if anyone listens to this in the meantime and you're at PAX, feel free to give me a message. Might be a space for you on the panel if you'd like to be on the show. I don't know how many spots there are. I think there might be 5 or something. So, do the maths. There's 2 of us, and so there's 3 spaces. So feel free to give me a message if you want to talk about Nintendo and your experience at PAX. And I think that might do it, Bryce. What are you looking forward to for the next 2 days here?
Trying to avoid lines.
So just basically sitting in this little quiet area, and that'll avoid the line. Don't have to wait at all. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening to The House of Mario, episode 118. If you'd like to help us out, review the show, all that fun stuff, feel free to, please. I sort of get to this point. I'm like, I feel like you got to say it, but it feels wrong. No one does it anyway. No one listens.
Yeah. Not even me.
Not even you. You don't either. Don't either. See, you know what I do? I always edit in just like you saying, "I'm a silly Willy," but you never notice.
No, never.
I don't do that. That's too much work. All right, guys. This week's Nintendo JUKEBOX is a Luigi's Mansion remix.
Nintendo JUKEBOX.
What did I say?
This week's. We've got multiple coming this week, my friend.
No, well, the next episode will be the next week. Will be the next Tuesday, normal time. So don't you try and correct me, mate.
Well, we're talking in present tense, mate.
Present tense. Luigi's Mansion remix by Qumu Music. Go and check it out on SoundCloud. Go and support them. Give them the click and all of that. And until next time, catch you later.